everyone. It's Nicky here again from Whipham, and I'm about to do another Pestie Connections chat with two amazing ladies, which we've been trying to organise for a very, very long time. And I met these lovely ladies, I think it was the first time was AXA Roadshow in Brisbane. I was introduced to Renee and Janelle, who I'll introduce properly in a minute. And it was actually pretty exciting for me because one of the things I always worry about with this association is, you know, are women getting anything out of it? Are we getting anything out of it within the industry? And it's not until I get to meet people like Renee and Janelle that I realise that, yeah, they are watching and they are, you know, not necessarily being vocal or interacting or anything, but they're watching from a distance and sort of know everything that's going on. And the first thing I think you lovely ladies said was, oh, hi, you know, you knew who I was. I didn't know who you were. And it's really great for me because I get to meet so many other women and realise I really do love what I do. So with that, I actually want to introduce Renee Marino and Janelle McKibbin from Discreet Pest Control in Brisbane. It is Brisbane, isn't it? In the Brisbane area. And both of these ladies are a little bit different because you guys own the business. So we've got two female women here who own a pest control business. So I'm really excited because most guests that I get on with Pestie Connections or any interviews I do, it's normally a pest technician or it's someone who works within administration. I've never had two women who own a business. I've had people like Natalie Heron from Pestie Girls. I've spoken to her a few times and she owns her own business. But you girls are really interesting, so it's why I've got you on board. So I want to get straight into it, and let's talk about how you got into the pest industry. So how did it come about? I don't know if you want to start.
I think Janelle should start.
Okay. So it started about 22 years ago. So we've had the business for 22 years now. I started it with my now ex-husband and we ran it for about 15 years and
wow. Yep.
We decided to go our separate ways and 2017 and I stayed on in the business and he retired and Renee actually is my best friend.
I was going to say that you guys are besties. Like
we are, yeah.
It was a bit of a joke to start with, wasn't it? It'd be so cool if we could work together.
Yeah.
And did you just get on the plonk like we used drinking and said, let's get together?
Often. Yeah, but it was my husband's idea. He said, why don't you do that? Because I was working in education and I was overworking with the kids and he said, why don't you do that? We could do that. So we went to Janelle and
I was like, yes, please. That's
I need some help.
And it's been fantastic because you've got somebody that you knew prior. So, and because we've been best friends for so many years, you've got that trust around and our skills complement each other.
Yeah.
We've both got that education background.
Our reports are always spelled correctly.
I bet.
So for 7 years now, and it's just been going up. It's fantastic.
Each year we're getting a little bit bigger, which is great.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing because, like, you know, the saying goes, you know, don't work with your family and don't work with your friends because things, you know, can just go sour. But you girls, as you said, just complement each other really, really well. And you've been together for 7 years and no tiffs, no arguments in that 7 years.
We're like sisters. We have a bit of not very often.
No, but it is always resolved, usually over a glass of wine or two. But we actually, I think communication is really important and we've both learnt from each other.
Got to be honest with each other, otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah. So we still, you know, we socialise still. So we, you know, away on holidays together and
our kids are all friends.
Yeah, so good, and they've grown up with, you know, each other. So
that's awesome.
Really, it's like a family. Yeah.
Because I've always made my best decisions when I've been drinking. I really have. That's when, you know, Jay hates it when I turn around and go, I've been thinking. It's always if I've had a champagne or, you know, and I just get these great ideas and go, why don't we do this? And he's like, here we go again. And but, you know, you make your best decisions with that. So okay, so being owners of a pest control company, it's there's a lot of responsibility, you know, being two females and being in a male dominated industry. What challenges do you face? You must come up with some challenges.
When we're interviewing for employees,
Yes.
sometimes people haven't got, some technicians don't have respect if it's a woman owner.
Yep.
We've found that, and we're like, well, we're not going to hire you then.
We actually did have one years ago said, well, you know, I'm not used to responding or taking orders from a female, so I don't.
Wow. Even today's day and age, like it's.
Yeah, that was about 10 years ago, but.
Okay, sorry, I thought you said 2. I was going, wow.
No, about 10. So, but that would be one of them. And years ago, when we were doing some pre-construction work, I think a lot of builders weren't really keen on speaking to a female first. They wanted to speak directly to a bloke, and we're the ones that do sort of all the legal things, the requirements that are necessary for them to pass their projects.
Yeah.
So they really need to speak to us, and they need to be nice to us. So it's changed a lot over the years. It's great to see so many women.
Yeah, women out in the field. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. I don't know. Did you see my video I posted the other day? I can't believe I got into a roof cavity. I've always popped my head in, but I've never literally put my body up. And and in the video, like the manhole actually looked bigger than what it was. I literally had to hoist my boobs up into the manhole. I don't know, how some women do it, getting out there in the field, and
it's fantastic actually. You know, you used to attend the conferences 10, 15 years ago, and you'd be the token woman in the room. There might be 1 or 2 others, and that was it. And now we're really well represented. It's great to see.
Yeah, I found, and the same, because I've been doing conferences for 13 years, and I have found it's really only been the last 4 or 5 years that the women are really starting to come out now and feel comfortable about being there. Yeah. So I know I used to sort of walk around and I'd hide behind hubby and sort of just not say anything, and I'd spot another woman or another lady across there, but you'd sort of make eye contact and your eyes would go back down again, and you'd go and do your own thing. And now it's just like everyone's embracing it, and you get in there, and it's really
absolutely exciting. And there's a lot of advantages, I think. We're really lucky.
Women are more organised. Organising, I think.
I believe so. I do. And that's going to be my next question. What is the positives with 2 female owning a business? Organisation. You were talking before about the reports. I bet you, the reports are spot on.
Yes, they're pretty good. Yeah. But I think it's also because it's traditionally been male dominated. We do try to treat the technicians as family. So we do a lot of activities, and we're mindful of the fact that if one of the technicians has got a sick child, it doesn't automatically mean that the wife or the partner looks after the sick child and has to have.
Absolutely.
It's the technician, and we don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. So that's.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many employees have you got? And I'm assuming they're all male.
We've got 4 full-time.
4. Yep.
Yep. And I was just saying, another positive with women, I think we can communicate better with each other. I don't.
Yeah.
I think blokes tend to not talk about some things, whereas we are a bit more like, how you going? How you feeling? Everything okay?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I do tend to agree. I know in our business that I tend to Jay steps back when there's something going on, or if there's any mental health going on, like that. He's like, oh, you do better than that. You sort that. He prefers to stand back from that side of things.
I don't think it means that we're pushovers. I think sometimes, especially in such a male-dominated industry, the guys might think that we're pushovers, but we're certainly not pushovers. We have high expectations, but as I said, our guys are amazing. We're really lucky to have the staff that we do.
Yeah, well,
we work well together.
I definitely know that you're not pushovers, because the conversations I've had with you girls, like, you just intrigue me. You really do. I just love what you do, because I just don't know anyone in the pest control industry with like there might be a female owning it, yes, but there's two of you and best friends and not fighting. It's just amazes me. So, are you girls qualified at all? Are you qualified technicians or no?
No.
My husband is, so he'll help out. He doesn't work in our business. He works for the company outside of pest control, but when we need him, he can step in for us.
Oh, perfect. That's good.
Come in handy a few times.
So do you set yourselves targets? Like have you got targets in your business? And
well, we have formal and informal targets. We like to say we put it out to the universe. Which is probably not the best in terms of business sense.
I think everything works out in the end, though. We always go, we need a job in this such and such place, and then we get a call. We're like, oh my gosh, it worked.
But we do also have targets. We have certain amounts that we need to do, a certain amount of work in terms of monetary value we need to do each day. So we've got monthly targets, and then obviously yearly we have quarterly meetings with the accountants. I think is to surround yourself with people who have a particular purpose and are good at that, because you can't be good at everything.
No.
Absolutely.
We have very different roles within the business, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why we've worked so well together.
Let's talk about your roles. Like who does what? So what Renee, what's your specific role?
I do mainly all the background work. So I do all the payroll, the invoicing, the reminders, all the body corporate work I book in.
Yep.
Janelle's mainly the first point of call, so she's on the phone. If the second line rings, I'll answer it.
Yeah.
I like to be in the background.
She's very good with the money. Very good.
I'm shocking with accounts, hence why I got my daughter into the business, and she runs rings around me now within the business, to be quite honest. So I've lost my office. I no longer have an office anymore. So it's I walk in there with my lip, you put a teacup on my lip because my office is gone. So she does a very, very good job. So, and I'm not very technical savvy, and she's the one who does all the the social media stuff, all the posts, and if something's not working, I'm like, what's going on? Why isn't this working? How do I do this? So
that actually does sound very similar to us. So and then we fight too sometimes. We have little tiffs. But you have to work it out. I mean, that's the thing. Apart from being family, you've got a business together and you have to work it out. So it's been a learning curve, I think, for both of us.
Absolutely.
Janelle used to bottle everything up.
And
I'm like, you need to be open, let it out.
She may have regretted that a few times, but
I think I'm very much like you, Janelle, because I bottle everything. I tend to not say anything, and then obviously it gets to a point where you just no, it's not good. It's not very good.
That's right.
It makes you feel better when you're out and you're honest, and it doesn't build up to be a big thing then.
So all right, so what's your thought on WIPM, on women in pest management? It's as you know, like I've had a discussion with you. We're currently organising leadership workshops, leadership development workshops in conjunction with the Termite Professional Conference, and we're doing a heap of events. We're doing high tea. We're doing the breakfast at the conference. Now, I know you guys, over the years you've been attending some conferences and road shows and things like that. What should these conferences be offering women, do you think? Are we lacking anything? Is there anything that you find as women we could be doing more of?
I was just saying, just encouraging women, like making them feel it's okay to be in their industry, because a lot of women do, they'll hide behind their husbands and they don't get out there. And there's of us that are upfront, and I think it makes them more more to come out and want to try new things that are more male dominated.
I like the fact that you're actually doing some female only things. I think it's really important. It's definitely important to be within the wider group, but I also think that as women we have faced particular challenges in this industry that the males don't, because it is a male dominated industry. So to be there to support each other is really good. I think over the years it has been a bit more closed. Like people don't talk to each other in different companies because you see each other as competition. And I think it's important to realise that it's not just about competition, because the more we build ourselves up as a group, then the better, and the stronger we become, and the more knowledgeable, the more skillful, and more confident as well. So I think what you're doing with Whipham is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a hard one, because I know that I get on very well with a lot of the associations overseas, and I know some of the things they're finding challenging is the women in pest control over in the United States. They're organising their conference at the moment for next year, which I'm pretty excited, because I'm going to head over to that conference. It's going to be in Texas.
Wow.
I remember where in Texas she said. But yeah, I was speaking to Bobby Terry over there, and one of the challenges they faced was getting sponsors and people to support it, because they were focusing on women only. And I said to her, one of the things you do have to look at is, obviously when it comes to that sort of thing, men are one of our biggest supporters in the industry. So yeah, we sort of went down the track where we allowed, we had to get men to sponsor the conference. And I actually did have some male speakers when we organised the leadership conference a few years back, and that worked in really well, because a few people sort of said, oh, but it's a women's conference. And I said, yeah, but just, we can have male speakers, but there was only female delegates at that conference. And
I think women would feel safer asking questions which they might think sound dumb. You feel like it's a space with other women, like you feel more comfortable asking certain questions.
Do you know what? 20 years plus, I'm not a big fan in the middle of, like, say, AgServe or a conference, putting my hand up and asking a question. Still not a fan of that.
You get judged.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I like the idea of a mix of both. I don't think it should be completely one way or the other. So having some male speakers, I think, is a great idea, but it's also good to have the females as well. I know it sounds like fence sitting, but it's not. I think advantages in both.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I agree. And so it'll be interesting, because they're going to go down that path the way we did here. And so I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully that will really grow their conference, because they're going to allow that to happen, which is pretty amazing. And so you guys, you mentioned before, you've both got children. So how old are the kids, and how do you work life, family balance?
Well, that was what drew us to doing the business at the beginning. Our daughter was 6 or 7 at the time, our youngest daughter, and I found I could still work at home because the office is based at my house. She could be in the pool and stay at home during the holidays, and I was still here with her. That was the main thing. But the way we met through our oldest daughters in primary school. They were in primary school together. They're 20 this year.
Yes. So you've got 3?
I've got 3, But
a
year-old, and then an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old now. Yeah. So
they're at a great age where you don't have to be watching the whole time. And
no, not anymore. But in the beginning, that's what drew us to doing the business.
And that's one of the reasons why, when the business started all those years ago, my children have never known anything other than me being in the business. Even though in the beginning, when we first started it, I was part-time in the business and part-time teaching, always had the pest business. So I've got 2 kids, one who's 23 and the girl, Caitlin, who's nearly 20. I've also got a 37-year-old stepson. So, and a couple of grandchildren. Yes.
Yep. Oh, you're doing well. That's one of the things I'm most scared of at the moment, because I'm thinking, got 2 adult children now, and I just, I don't know what I'll do if I have to become a grandmother now. I don't think I'm grandmother material.
Well, I thought that as well to start with, but it's fantastic. I absolutely love it.
You can hand them back.
You can. Well, that's the thing. You can hand them back. I can have them for a night and fill them up on all sorts of things, and we can go to bed late after watching movies and then hand them back the next day.
Which
pretty lovely. I don't want any more for a while because the 23-year-old and the 20-year-old are too young.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I was 23 when I had my
I
first.
was going to say, like I was married at 21 and I was 23 when I had my first. And and I look at Lara now and she's 24 and still lives at home and just bought a tiny house to put on our property. And I'm like, I don't think she's ever going to leave.
I don't think ours will either. It's too expensive for them to move out.
It is too expensive, Mine still live at home. Well, not the 36-year-old, but the other two. So it's good company. And, it's really funny, but having a pest control business, I am petrified of huntsmen spiders. Completely petrified. So it's good to have adult children to deal with them. So I like the office environment, not so fond of the field.
It amazes me how many technicians are petrified of spiders.
Yeah.
But they get out there and do it. Cherie, my female technician, she's petrified of them. Absolutely petrified. And I'm like, you're walking in, all these houses and under the, subfloors and in the roof cavities. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's just like afterwards. So, but look,
dogs in here.
We actually have
office dogs.
And then some like to go out. I might just let them out. Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. What have you got there, Renee? What dogs have you?
I've got 2 Labradors. So when I turned 40, I've always wanted a chocolate lab.
Yep.
I've got Toby, he's 3, and then we got another one, and she's 2, and a black lab.
Yeah. So the 2 office dogs, and Lara's always got a French bulldog in the office. My dog used to be allowed to go, but the 2 of them together, it's too much. So I've got a Quichond, but she stays at home now, and Lara's dog gets to go every day, and it's good because all the technicians walk in and they all get excited. And Gloria is her name. They're like, "Hi, Gloria," and she just, keeps everyone happy.
Well, they most of the day they're under our desks just sleeping.
Yeah. So, look, it is no surprise to me that you ladies are successful with what you do. Just getting to know a little bit about you. I don't know a lot, but I've just, as I said, a few conversations we've had and getting you to into our newsletter. So I've gotten a little bit to know about you. And one of the reasons I get people like you on is to promote you guys in the industry so you can inspire other women and, not just within the industry, but women to come into this industry, because it is an industry that not many people think about, especially women, to come into. And it's an awesome job. But who inspires you ladies in the industry?
Are you talking about in the industry?
Yeah. Is there anyone you look up to in the industry and outside for that matter?
John Field, he's our lifesaver.
Yeah. Amazing.
We don't ever have any issue, like really things that we can't deal with, we'll call him and he'll give us advice.
So he's just an amazing man. I mean, I don't think he'll ever retire. I think. He does a huge amount just in terms of supporting us, mentoring us over the years.
That's awesome.
Phil Sayer actually is pretty awesome as well, I think, from Garage.
He's a wealth of information, isn't he?
He's amazing, and the sad thing is that both of them, even though they're both amazing people, are on the older side. And what are we going to do when they're no longer within the industry? And that's, I think, a really important part with WIPM is getting those connections.
You need the support. You need the support to be able to call someone and say, we don't know how to deal with this, or
And a lot of the times too, what I'm finding is even with the other association and this one, the other women association, is still, even with just the women, it's still hard for some of them to actually ask that question or say something because they don't want to say something stupid. A lot of our calls, it's like they come in like directly to us or through an email because they don't want to put it up on on social media and ask. And I find even still now, like the amount of people who will directly call me. And it's a question they sort of ask, you should have just put it in the closed group and ask. And then but still now they worry about saying something stupid. And
That's the same on the Australian Pest Management website.
I was about to say, there's no.
Yeah. Well, that's worse again because there's 4,000 people on there.
I know, that's right. And sometimes I must admit, you read some of the responses and it's supposed to be a really supportive environment. And I read some of the responses and, okay, so the question might be, something that is fairly obvious to some people. What is different? And I think that's maybe where women might be a bit better because some of the responses sometimes I just have to shake my head.
They're really rude to them sometimes.
It's hard to. It's even hard to. Well, we've been quite lucky in the women's group. I don't think there's ever a post I've had to pull down yet. I'll say yet, but it is hard because you have those people going, oh, how can you be qualified and ask a question like that? But it's. I love doing these.
Sorry.
I did one with Amanda Robin from Competitive Pest Services. I don't know if you've seen that. And it's funny, and her child just walked in and went, Mum, and just started talking. And she's like, I'm doing it like an interview. And the joys of being women, I reckon. And
you've got to multitask.
We can multitask.
Yeah, we can. Do it there.
No, getting back to like rude responses, it is a hard one, but I think people forget I think it's more of an industry problem. Like you tend to get your qualifications, fairly quickly and easy if you really want to get it, and it's an industry problem. It's not the person's fault who is qualified and doesn't know what's going on or doesn't know much. So you need people to be mentoring and
absolutely. And you're always learning. You're always learning. We still learn new things every day.
A lot out of that particular Facebook page because sometimes someone will put something up and you'll get some really fantastic information. So it's definitely got its place. I think just sometimes people need to be a bit more mindful and be a bit kinder.
No, definitely agree on that. So I know when I first come into the industry 13 years ago, I knew nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Jay's like, you're going to have to answer the phone. And I'm like, I know nothing about pest control.
Don't you feel sick in the stomach when you first start doing that? Was me. Yeah.
And I was trying to have a social life at the same time because we just moved to Noosa and I was going out for lunch and the mobile was ringing. At that point, we had like a 1300 number diverted to the mobile and I had a diary like this, and I'm putting it in there and then when I go home I'll put it in the calendar. I think back and I don't know how I did that. And there were no pages. There was no one there to help mentor. I had no one to ask except hubby. And
that's actually why John Field for us has just been the most amazing person over the years. In the very beginning, that's who my ex-husband did his training with, John. John just kept in touch with us and he's just been fantastic over the years. And now, yes, you're right, there's a lot more avenues. We've got Lee.
Lee from BSF, he's great.
Yep. He's
from Sunju and Warren from Insistics and that sort of thing. There's a lot more help out there now, whereas there wasn't years ago. If there was, we didn't know how to.
Yeah. You're too scared to ask. I know. Didn't want them to think we didn't know how to run the business.
I know. Yes.
So we can't. And that's one of the reasons. And look, I ask the most stupid questions, to be honest, and I kind of don't care anymore. I thought, people are if they're going to slam me, they're going to slam me. So, and I still ask the most stupidest questions, and I do it publicly now because I want others to go, hey, it's okay. It's all right. And, as you said before, you cannot be good at everything. You're still always learning. And one of the things I've really learned is to delegate, to give those jobs I'm not good at to other people. It's very hard to do that at the start because you like that full control.
Yes.
But I've now learned to, to delegate and get other people who are better at it to do it. And
that's,
I think, much easier.
Yeah, you've got to surround yourself with a good team. We are exceptionally lucky to have the guys that we've got.
Yeah.
And over the years, we've had, people that have come and gone.
But we still keep in touch with them. We're still friends with them.
Yeah. Yep. And that's, and we're the same. Like the few that they've moved on, it's because they've either gone out on their own, which, good technicians are going to do that at some point. They want to go out on their own, or they've gone and work for the mines, which we just go, well, we can't afford that.
I think owning a small business is only so far that they can grow in your business, and then they want to hire, and we can't offer that to them.
So advantages and disadvantages, like everything for small versus large. You know, you look at large, maybe more opportunities, small family,
more personal.
We go away each year. To guys,
And I was going to ask before, so none of the kids have showed any interest in coming into the business?
Oh, yes, Dan.
My son did for a short period of time. We always knew that he wasn't going to stay. He's always wanted to be sort of an electrician. So he was with us for about 6 or 7 months. And that was
he did his pest control.
He did, he was good, and it's nice to have that family. As well, but it's also presents certain problems as well. So
no, I was hoping my son would come into ours, but no, he wants to be a lawyer. He wants to do law.
That could come in handy.
Probably, when we get into deep water. So, but we're hoping that he would come in and sort of take over the reins a bit, not expecting it to be our daughter. And it's hence why I think I was so gravitated toward you ladies, because I've actually had a number of people ring up, especially some who are attending the conference, saying, hey, because we're up that way, can we come and visit you? We'd like to meet your daughter. We'd like to see how she's running things and what she's doing. And, they've sort of been watching what we're doing. And it was funny, it wasn't until I met you ladies that I kind of realised she can run the business. Like, because I was sort of thought, I can't just, give her all that responsibility and let her sort of, take control of everything. But after meeting you ladies, I just thought, well, actually she can, and she's doing actually a really good job of it. And, and even said, she goes, I want you out and I want Dad out of the business. So in a way where we can have a bit of a life. And
that's so good.
That is nice.
Whether that's possible for us, I don't know, because just with Pestie profiles and then Aussie termite tours and Whipham and Jay with Rapid, and I'm just thinking we just got time for nothing. It's always
trying to. One of the things that we implemented a few years ago was making sure that we actually don't work Saturdays, and the guys don't work Saturdays.
Weekends.
We don't either.
We also we shut down over Christmas for 2 weeks, so we all have a break for 2 weeks. So you're refreshed for the new year.
And there's a lot of companies doing that, doing that now, and I think it's a good thing. So definitely. So what are your goals? What are your goals? Like, where to from here for Janelle and Renee? What do you got planned? Anything up your sleeve?
Well, maybe getting a little bit bigger so we can have another person in the office, because the one thing is we don't get a lot of holidays. We only get those 2 weeks of Christmas. And
of course, you like to spend it together, don't you?
We do actually holiday. We've been, Fiji and a few different places. So
that's the only downfall, I think. It's really hard if one of us isn't here for a long time, it's very hard for one person to run it. It's the both of us to do it.
You have different roles and they're needed each day. You can have short times away. So I think this year,
a week could be max.
This last year was the first year that we actually had separate holidays for a week each during.
Okay. You would have had withdrawals, did you? Like.
We're still talking.
Still talking, but I mean, we've only ever had that weeks. Christmas and
over the last 7 years.
It's exhausting. That is the downside. It does get a bit exhausting. So I think you need to sort of step back and say, well, okay, we do need a bit more time off sometimes. And
now we're getting older. It'd be nice to have a bit more holidays.
Yeah, that's right.
No, so all right. I can keep talking, but I won't, because no one likes it when it drags on. They see, it goes for an hour or so. We're not going to watch that. So before logging off, is there any secret tips or a tip that you can share with other women in the industry or women who want to come into the industry?
You need to create a good support network, and whether that be people within the industry or outside as well.
Like family,
you need to make sure that you've got people around you that do support you, because sometimes you are going to absolutely lose your nana. anymore.
And I think don't be scared to ask questions. That's how you learn.
Yeah. You can't lose it together. We've got to lose it at separate times.
I love that answer. I love that because look, even like with Jay and I, obviously male and female, but the same thing. I find that when he's not coping with something, I can just pick up. I can just get in there and do what I have to do and sort out whatever's going on, and vice versa. If I'm having a meltdown or I can't cope with something, he just bang and picks it up. And it is great to have that trusting person, that that partner, whether it's friends, husband, work colleague.
They don't need to be in the industry, do they? I mean, if you've got someone that you can just decompress and vent to,
we vent to each other quite a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Don't we all? No, it's about a customer. You put the phone down and go, oh my goodness, this customer. But it's great tip. And thank you, ladies. Thank you for jumping on board.
Thank you for having us.
I want to do more with you ladies, like get to know you more, and even have a drink, because I know you like to have a drink. So I haven't been drinking much. I'm probably due for one. So
bird in the hand, that's a good tip.
Bird in the hand is amazing.
Yep, sparkling. Oh.
Yes. So I've been forcing myself with vodka and soda, and I'm not a real good vodka. I don't like vodka. Nice. You can't really taste it. I thought, what's the point? I can't taste it.
You need to try bird in the hand.
Bird in the hand. So what is bird in the hand? Now, this is me dumb. Should I know this or?
No. It's a pink champagne. It's lovely.
It's a pink champagne. Is it like, it's not sweet though, is it?
No, it's nice. No. Give it a go. It's beautiful.
So it's like a sparkling rosé, is it?
No. You need to try it. It's sort of in a bit.
Okay. Where do I get it from? Dan's or?
Anywhere.
Okay. Bird in the hands. Why is that? Is there like less sugar or calories or something in that, or is it just?
No, it's just good.
It's just good. Okay. so it's
we tried different ones. We tried different ones over the years. Yeah. So you watch, there'll be a run on that now. The amount of people with that drink too, we should be getting commission. I know. Yeah.
We could get commission.
I think so.
Yeah, well, Joe always said you'd be good at sales with wine and champagne. Those people who go around and try and sell it. And said, I'd drink the profits. So I'll have nothing to let anyone taste.
You sound like me.
I would drink all the profits and, I wouldn't make any money. So, and the worst thing we did was build a bar at home. So that was the worst thing. And it wasn't a normal bar. It's a full-on bar. And that's the worst thing, because we wanted to fill the bar.
Every home should have one.
So I got a bit naughty for a while. Now I'm just like, no, I'm behaving, and I'll see how I go. I'm sure I'll lapse every now and then. But no, it was an absolute pleasure. We had a good laugh before jumping on. I would have loved to have recorded that, talking about menopause and boobs and all sorts of things that we go through, and even us in the office. We're talking about, we definitely know when one of the girls is up for that time, because you can get a bit cranky, and it's fun being a woman. It's fun in this industry. Yes. But thank you, ladies, and we'll probably continue chatting a bit when I stop the record, and I'll look forward to having heaps more to do with you girls.
Lovely, us too.
Thank you, and we'll catch you on another episode of Pestie Connection.